Hello and welcome to DDOcast, episode 294, recorded live on July 28th. We like to talk about Dungeons & Dragons Online around 4 p.m. nearly every Sunday. You can watch us on our channels, so G+ Hangouts, or on the website at DDOcast.com. I'm your host of the present, Siegfried Trent, and with me is my lovely producer and wife, Anne Trent. Hello, darling.
Hey, DDOcast world, welcome back.
And we have the host of the future here as well, Shamgar, a.k.a. Patrick. Hello, sir.
Ahoy, me hearties. Welcome to the party.
Ahoy! And from DDOgamer.com, we've got the Scurvy Jeff Hanna.
Arr, be we all talking like pirates today? I hope not, for our listeners' sake, arr.
Yeah, well, maybe not. Anyway.
Well, the role-playing community would do dances for us.
Oh, well, maybe so. And the Scurvy Dogs at Cyber Ears, thank you for hosting our audio files. On the podcast this week, we have not very much. We have a little bit of news, we have a little bit of talk, we have a wee bit of this and that. It's actually not a ton to talk about this week, so maybe we'll just fill the air with empty blather about this, that, and the other thing. But let's start, as we always do, with game news.
How will people know the difference?
How
will people tell the difference, really?
I don't know. Well, if we put out the show notes, it'll be short show
All
notes.
the empty blather this week will be done in pirate voices.
Ah, there you go.
There we go. All right. So, of course, we're yammering like this. I believe it's Talk Like a Pirate Day sometime around now. So we have Euphonia's Challenge, Treasure of the Crystal Cove, has returned to us. Or it might not be Talk Like a Pirate Day, and they might have brought it back for some other reason. I don't know. Does anyone know why we have Crystal Cove?
I know. Yeah. Says producer Ann.
Yes,
this weekend is Gary Gygax's birthday.
Wait, what's that got to do with Crystal Cove?
It's his birthday. Usually pirates come out during birthday parties. Hello?
Or they could have done Maybar, which is in the pack that he's kind of associated with in the game.
Yeah,
but you know what?
Pirates
you know what? I mean, like, pirates are better than clowns. There you have it.
I would agree with that. Very much so. Not sure which is scarier, though, but...
And
okay.
for those of you keeping score at home, that was blathering.
Yeah, indeed. Pad like you couldn't pad anymore. No, anyway, so yeah, Euphonia's Challenge, Treasure of the Crystal Cove, has returned. It should be hanging around until August 11th, according to the folks at DDO. Get your pirate hats, prepare to plunder, so on and so forth. They have a guide. It's actually a pretty good guide at DDO.com/EN, as in English, /treasure-crystal-cove-guide. Don't expect you to remember that. Just go find it in the on the website. It'll be in various places. But the guide is pretty good. It's kind of cute, and it's got pictures and words and everything. So well worth checking out. If you don't know Crystal Cove, that is the thing to check out to learn about it. I suppose we could give a very brief summary on the show, since we don't have all that much going on. Anyway, you go down to the harbor. There's a guy you talk to down by the docks. He takes you over to the Crystal Cove. You'll wander around the Crystal Cove, killing pirates, getting treasure and such, collecting up coins. You can turn in the coins to get a little compass thingy and some other goodies, and then use the compass thingy every once in a while when enough coins have been collected and turned in. Then they open up the gates to the Crystal Cove. You climb on into the Crystal Cove with your favorite party members, and then you help the little kobolds collect crystals. If you get enough crystals, you get shiny goodies at the end, various little gemstones and things. Then the gemstones can be turned in order to get gear of various kinds and such. So a little on the complicated side. There are other things you can turn your coins in for, little consumable potions, doodads. There are hats that you can get yourself all jazzed up on. I believe you get like a free hat to start with, but if you want to buy into account hat, then you can buy one of those out of the store. Or if you were around during the first one, you should have been granted some of these things automatically. And then so you can upgrade the hats to have various powers that either help the kobolds or help you a little bit. So all kinds of different and kind of interesting things that you can do with Crystal Cove. It's pretty fun. One of the first sort of challenges that we had, and still in many ways probably one of the best. It's pretty fun to do the crystal collection. I enjoy it. So I don't know if they've made any changes this year. Has anyone heard of anything?
My understanding is there's no changes in the loot or in the quest. I haven't done it myself, but I was, asking people who were over there, and they're telling me there's no differences.
Okay. Cool.
The only noticeable change that I've seen is they put the Admiral's Tricorn, the one that they gave out like in early past events to only like really old, people who've been playing DDO for a very long time. The one that says over 9,000 into the DDO store, so you can buy that for Turbine points. And the best part about that one is it's bound to account, so you can actually sort of move it between characters.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think the original ones were bound to account as well, and they kind of bound them to character, and then they made the one in the store that's bound to account. Something like that. Because I know I have some that I pass around from character to character.
Yeah, the one that I have, the one that looks like gold bling, that's bound to character. So.
Right, the gold ones are bound to character.
Yeah.
The Dread Admiral's Tricorn, I believe, is the one that you can get that is bound to account. I have a couple of those. I put like Seeker on them. You can get some character buffs on them, so I put Seeker and then Jump, and I think I passed that around from mid-B to mid-B. That's not a bad Seeker item.
It's a fun one.
Cool. All right, let's see. We've got the Lamania beta continuing on. Of course, can't talk about it much because there's like an NDA and all that kind of jazz. So I don't know. It's kind of fun. I haven't been on as much as I'd like, but so be it. Anybody else playing around with that at all?
I'm in a very frustrating situation where I have official dispensation to write about the new enhancements.
Uh-huh.
A DDO Gamer exclusive. And I can't get into Lamania. My files are all corrupt, and I nothing that I've attempted to repair them has yet been successful. So I'll probably get it figured out right about 10 minutes before they shut it off on Monday.
Dope.
So sad. Oh, okay, so it's going away on Monday, huh? I didn't realize that.
So how long will it go away for on Monday? Do you know?
Well, I'm not sure on Monday. They've been turning it off on Monday, but I don't know they're going to do that again this time. But I believe that's just their pattern this time. Is it's only open for a specific event, and the event tends to be like Thursday through Monday. So I assumed there a little bit. I wasn't relaying a fact. I was relaying an assumption.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's always been there whenever I logged in, so I didn't notice that it was coming back and going away.
I guess we've always logged in on a Tuesday or
on the weekend.
on the weekend or whatever.
I got no time during the weekday for it these days.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. You learn something new every day. There you go.
So it goes. How about you, Shamgar? Have you been on Lamania?
No, I've been a struggle to get on and play normally, so.
Yeah, same here. Oh well. I might get on a little bit tonight or something. I do want to check out the new Iconics and make one of each just to kind of check them out and see what kind of character I'd like to make on live with them. So, might do that. What else? DDO store news. There's certainly some of that. 35% off of Epic Destinies and Tomes of Fate. 35% off of all Menace of the Dark, Underdark adventure packs. All kinds, high, low, medium level. Well, I guess there are no low-level ones, but whatever. I think there's the challenge, there's the normal, and then there's the epic. Then we've got 50% off of all Keys of Destiny. So if you want to skip over your least favorite Destiny, that's kind of a good deal. I want to stock up on those. I don't know if you can buy them and then use them later, or exactly how they go. So maybe I should get a couple of those. I got a couple Destinies I might like skipping. Till August 4th, we've got 4 new cosmetic outfits, and I don't know, they're kind of cool. Some of them are sort of new. Some of them I could have sworn I've seen before, or seen something like them.
The Phoenix robe. Yeah, it's in Mindsunder.
Yeah,
right.
So that already exists, basically.
The leather I've seen before, too, although it would be nice to have a clean-looking leather that you can have at every level. I like that.
I mean, they are pretty good looking, so, kind of cool. But I still find the price on those a little high for my taste. I would rather they be like around $5 or something,
Weren't they like 995 points?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're like almost 1,000 points. And that's a little much for me, so I guess I'll pass. And
the good news is they're
not
not limited to like one armor anymore, so
you can
get a lot more out of them.
Yeah, I'm a little tempted by the Phoenix robe because it does look kind of cool, and I've got a Fire Sork, so I don't know, maybe, but it's a lot of DDO points.
I don't know. For $10, I want mine thing with a Coco Chanel label. There you go.
Yeah,
That's what I want. a little tag that sticks out in the back that says Coco Chanel.
Yeah, it's just a little pricey. I mean, the thing is, they're definitely reusable, so you can use them on a bunch of things. But at that kind of price, then I have to go. Well, maybe I'll buy one of them. I would much rather they have a price somewhere in the, if they were like $200 or $300, I would buy all of them, right? And then I would probably spend more turbine points in the end that way. So, I don't know. As it is, I'm kind of hesitant to grab those things.
Yeah, they don't package them in sort of, buy 5 in one go or something.
Oh yeah,
like
that might be good. That could get me to buy it as well.
Or that could be like a gift pack, something like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on, things depreciate, and to repurpose the value, packaging in them gift packs would be awesome.
Yeah, could be. Let's see. We've also got a new cosmetic pirate hat that you can wear. This is not the same as the one you use in the challenges. It looks a little bit different. It's more sort of the Captain Crunch style pirate hat with a big skull and crossbones and kind of a black circle. But you can get a matching one for your pet, so that's awfully cute.
So everyone can look like Captain Crunch. That does sound appealing.
The Captain Crunch raid. You must have a cosmetic pirate hat. Yeah. Let's see. Also, you can get the free sample of the week. That would be the Lesser XP Elixir LEX45. So.
It would be a good cosmetic item. Be if they could do a cosmetic peg leg.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Anyways,
hook arm.
It's not called Captain Crunch. It's called Napoleon style.
That's true. It is.
Know your history.
Style.
Keep all. No, I'm just kidding.
Captain Crunch is a historical figure, kind of a silly one, but I mean he's legitimately fictional. Then we don't know what he looks like.
Well, until you've had peanut butter Captain Crunch, you really can't complain about the captain. That's all I'm saying. That stuff's really good. What are the? I don't like a lot of sugary cereals, but peanut butter Captain Crunch kind of has a soft spot for me, and I can get into that.
Anyways, I think it's called a bicorn. A bicorn instead of a tricorn.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a bicorn hat. I believe it's called the bicorn hat. Popularized by Napoleon.
How interesting.
So says the internet. There,
Okay.
I'm blathering.
I believe them.
Well, then it must be true.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be real.
It's got to be real.
The internet knows everything, and some things aren't.
Yeah, it knows lots of things about everything. All right, speaking of things that know something about some things. Anyway, latest press reports of Shadowfell X Pack here talking about the iconic classes, so I thought we'd go over those. I'm not sure, where do these ones come from, darling? Oh, from Joystick, massively. Okay, so that's what they have to say about the new iconic characters. The Shatter Kai, formerly residents of the Shadowfell realm, these are people who have defied harrowing oppression and a horrific environment to eke out their own autonomy. You can choose different scars, piercings, tattoos, as well as unusual hair options to make your Shatter Kai as intimidating and wild as you like. Shatter Kai lend themselves to rogue abilities, their affinity to the Shadowfell plane, allowing them to fit between dimensions, appearing or disappearing, a handy skill to have. And the Spike Chain attack, wherein a chain is whirled and whipped around, causing damage to all within the vicinity. It's kind of cool, like a built-in cleave for the character, or just sort of an area spell. Not sure how it works out.
But not a new
Morning
weapon.
Lord. No, not a new weapon. I'm almost entirely certain of that. But like I said, haven't tried it out. I'm pretty sure it's just an ability they get. It's one of their things, one of their enhancements.
Someday we'll get a new weapon, or not.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, even if,
nice.
Yeah. Although there's a lot of kinds of weapons. If they just made some, new and interesting looks for them, that'd be fine too by me. But Morning Lords, noble, graceful elves are imbued with light, unleashing powers that are devastating to those tied to the shadow. You can focus on the damage aspect of the class, which would dish out damage similar to a pure caster, such as a wizard, or you'll be missing out on some powerful utility through buffs, heals, and shields. I guess you can either pick a defensive or offensive-oriented Morning Lord character. We'll see. Anne is hoping that this will actually make her want to play a cleric.
Yeah, I used to. My first character I ever played in DDO was a cleric. And then I discovered that it was, one, very expensive, and two, people were very very mean if you didn't do your job right. And people have off days, and so I just said I'm never doing a cleric ever again, not in DDO. So maybe this will change.
My gamer girl will not play any of her clerics in a pug group. Same deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one too many bad experiences as a cleric, and I do not play clerics anymore. So there you go.
I don't mind playing my cleric at all, except I'm not real fond of playing her in challenging raids because I don't collect a lot of mana pots, or if I do, I tend to use them on scattered characters. So I am just not equipped to be, when we do a big raid, the guild will be like, "How many pots did you use?" Cleric's like, "Oh, about 63." It's like, what? I haven't seen 63 pots in years. And the guild leaders have got lots of them.
You better be doing something really weird.
Well, it's like when we're first time, doing something, things like that. But yeah, I mean, you could chew through those things. But I tend to, if I use 3 or 4, that's like probably all the ones that I happen to have. So if I brought my cleric onto a raid where things kind of went pear-shaped, then, well, I'd be like, yep, sorry, folks, out of mana. I guess we're all dying now. So I don't know.
If you're
so I don't
using
play
that
the
many
card much.
pots on a regular basis, you should be using heal scrolls more often, probably.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, we were trying. In this particular case, we were doing Epic Elite, Fall of Truth for the first time. So we're trying to figure out how to do it. It was expensive. We had to do a few, like all but one person's dead, get everybody back up, heal everybody, rebuff, get back in the fight, that kind of thing. So that got pricey.
Yeah, from what I've read on the news fronts, the Morning Lords are very buffy and healy, so they fill that slot really good if you like that kind of class mechanic.
Yeah.
So
I'd be more impressed with that description if it said which would dish out damage similar to a pure caster such as a sorcerer.
Right? Yeah.
Wizard, yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Wizard dishing out the damage? I mean, they can. That's not really what most wizards do. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to cast elemental spells, wizard, not probably the way you want to go. But hey, what are you going to do? Let's see. Purple Dragon Knight, lending itself to the fighter class. An interesting Tier 1 ability for the iconic is Cormarian Knight Training, which allows the player to use Charisma instead of Strength as a prime stat. In fact, it chooses whichever of the two is higher. The Purple Dragon Knight is... Yeah, kind of neat, I guess. It's certainly interesting, at least.
Wouldn't that make it a better paladin than a fighter?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
I'm not thinking so much of a paladin, but a bard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like Battle Bard.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Battle Bard.
Yeah, this one definitely lends itself to going, fighter, well, okay, but, I'll take a couple fighter levels and then something else. Purple Dragon Knight, excellent synergy for a variety of other classes. Hey, there we go. The abilities for the class are designed to focus on using an item in the right situation at the right time because good game design resides in interesting choices. Sure, I agree with that. I haven't actually tried the thing out or looked at all its abilities yet. It does seem interesting. And they do have male and female versions, so that's kind of cool.
They get the new body type, that's for sure. They're the only class that gets the new body type. That
kind of stocky and chunky
thing going on.
Which means you're going to find some armor kits and things that you look pretty funky in. That's usually the way that works as well.
But, oh my god, that's going to be hilarious.
We'll see. But, I mean, I guess it's not too different from half-orc, and they work for most things.
Yeah. I don't know if they mentioned any of, like, the stats. I didn't see in the news releases that I've been combing through, I haven't seen any stats like hit dice or kind of skill point progression they've got or anything like that. So nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's based on whatever class you're taking.
Yeah, the skills are based on the class.
Yeah, it's going to be based on the pen and paper class. So if you look them up online, like the Player's Guide to the Faerun, it's going to mention what their hit dice and progression are and what feats they start out with, etc. So, like, I know that the Morning Lord has a hit dice of D8 progression. So.
Well, no, it's going to depend on what class they take, darling. So if you make a Morning Lord Wizard, then they'll get D4.
I know. I'm talking about the Morning Lord as an iconic class. The class. There's Morning Lord as the iconic character, and then there's Morning Lord, whatever. So I imagine.
Yeah. Well,
so if you take the Morning Lord character and take cleric, then you'll get a D8 progression, I think.
Yeah, that's what a normal.
I'm speculating. Yeah.
Oh, lost him.
So you said iconic class. Is that like a prestige class, or is it something new?
No. I'm confusing. So.
It's just like the Bladeforge Paladin. Like if you take the Paladin levels, you get certain differences than a regular Paladin. There aren't many, but you'd have slightly different skills and abilities than a. I shouldn't say skills, but you'd have slightly different abilities than a normal Paladin would. So like the Bladeforge Paladin can cast Reconstruct spells, right?
Right.
As where a normal Paladin doesn't get that. So theoretically, a Morning Lord Cleric would have some abilities that a regular Cleric doesn't, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Since you're always forced to take at least one level of the class associated with the iconic.
I understand. I was intending to ask Anne about the tabletop version.
Oh,
so
I see.
Is this like a D&D 4 thing? Iconics?
Yeah, basically.
Is that why I don't know
it's
about
not
it?
an iconic, but it's just a class in itself, and you can also find these this Morning Lord class as a class in specifically the player's guide to Faerun. So.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
So it's not even a prestige class; it's just a class.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go in there, it'll say Morning Lord of Lythander. That's the full class name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in 4th edition, they didn't really have prestige classes. They just have different classes, and then the classes go into different. I don't forget what they're called, but there's heroic level, and then the next one, and then the immortal level, whatever that's called. And so you start with a certain class, and that's your class all the way up to 30. But then at level 20, you pick a new kind of subspecialty, and then at 30 you pick kind of an immortal destiny sort of a thing. They don't really change your class, they just add a set of additional powers that you pick up. So they don't really have the whole idea of a class that you build up to and join, like you did in 3rd edition.
Right.
Okay. Well, that explains a lot of the things we've been seeing in DDO in the last 2 years.
Yeah, there's a few 4th edition things definitely that kind of creep into the game.
Hey, welcome back.
Pathfinder stuff too, that I think, but I'm not sure that they would actually admit that.
I don't think they're allowed to admit that.
Exactly. Yeah, I do think that would be an official association. I actually did see another list of the hobby store channel sales of role-playing games, and Pathfinder actually is #1, has been for a little while. So
really,
they've eclipsed D&D in the hobby channel. This is selling through hobby stores as opposed to large market bookstores or online or things like that. So it's a little hard to tell, but although I know that Pathfinder does good business online, so I'd expect it to be similar there. Yeah.
I was rooting for the original RuneQuest, which came back out recently.
There's a few. Yeah, I forget what the other places were. There was a new Shadowrun was on the list, and Iron Kingdoms, which was from Privateer Press, and one other one. I forget what else was on the list. Top 5 they had listed.
Okay. Hey, Jeff, to answer your question, in 3rd edition, Morning Lord of Lythander is an actual class starting from level 0. And then in 4th edition, it's considered a prestige class, I think.
No, they don't have prestige classes in 4th edition.
Or not prestige, Paragon. I think it's so you've got
Paragon
heroic
level.
and Paragon. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm mixing up my terminologies because I know too many D&D games. All right.
Edition confusion.
Sorry. My bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember all the rules. I could just never remember what anything is called. So that's. Let's see. Special features for the show this week. Happy birthdays. So happy birthday to Gary Gygax, who's passed on, but nonetheless, a happy birthday for him. Jerry Snook, original founder of DDOcast, and myself. So yeah, the 27th was Gary Gygax Day, celebrating his birthday. Lots of folks in D&D land, and thus on my G+ feed, doing stuff for Gary Gygax Day, holding memorial games, things of that nature. So having a good time to honor the great man. And according to Facebook, Jerry and my birthdays are right up next to one another. Although I lie just a little bit on my Facebook birthday thing because It's a common security question, so whenever there's a thing where I list my birthday publicly, I nudge it by just a little bit, up, down, one way or the other, just for the purpose. But it's always near my birthday, so if you're wishing me happy birthday based on that, you're at least in the ballpark. So.
Yep. Yeah, and not that my brother ever listens to and watches this show, but happy birthday to my brother Alex.
Okay, Alex. So, yeah, summertime, popular time for birthdays. All right, let's go to DDO Gamer. What's going on over there, Jeff?
Well, I spent the week trying to kind of split. I'm jumping ahead to the what did you do this week, too, I think, because basically this week I wrote about what I was doing. So a lot of the articles have to do with challenges. So a few months ago, I set out upon a quest to acquire 5 specific malls for Chelina Armstrong, the world's strongest halfling. She has successfully acquired the first of them, which was an epic, coming out of shadows, spinner of shadows. And
Fury of Flame?
Thank you. So that took some work, and then she acquired it by accidentally looking in the right character's ingredient bag and finding that she already had everything that she needed all along after spending a month trying to acquire them cluelessly. Anyway, she now has that mall. So I've spent the last really about 2 weeks working on mall number 2, which was a tier 3 morning load mall, or morn load mall. And the purpose on this one is
Can you tell me what that does? I don't know what the morning load mall does.
I can. It's an undead beater. So it does not have disruption on it, but it has everything else that you might want in an undead beater. So and I can be more specific. Yeah, it's got. Well, I'll be very here. I'll be very specific.
This is where I attempt to force other people to blather for me in order to pad out time.
I think we're blathering here. Yeah. All right. Well, here's some visual blathering. As you can see, I was successful, but it took me 2 weeks to do it, and it was a very scary shopping list that you start out with, because the first thing that you have to do is get a 20th level version of them all, and then you have to upgrade it twice. And each of these acquisitions costs a whole lot of Kneath Challenge ingredients. So to get them all was 600 Orthon metal scraps, 600 necromantic charms, and 600 crystallized magma thingies. And that sounds like a lot, and it is. And especially because I tend to run these challenges for the fastest possible completion, and I like the shorter challenges. So this meant really running a lot of challenges. Also, even scarier, the Orthon metal scraps come out of shortcuts, or I don't know, one of the challenges. Yeah, out of one of the challenges I don't care much for. So instead, I decided to get 1,200 thingies from buying time because you can swap them. So at the end of that, and that was a fairly mighty, in fact, that got almost a full level just running all that for my level 17 second TR Sparksy. Anyway, at the end of that, I finally had them all. Then the upgrade process took a total of 1,200 epic goblets, 1,200 epic magma thingies, whatever they are again, and 1,200 epic mephit wings, because everybody wants those. But the goblets come out of picture portals, and I just can't do the Rushmores. I just can't. So I've never succeeded at a Rushmore ever. It doesn't matter who you group me with. There'll be some strange, unexplainable reason why nobody gets any stars. I am that strange reason. It's impossible for me to get a Rushmore star. So instead, I got to get 2,400 Arcanoloth scrolls. So, and that was from labor shortage. So I was able to do most of this, yeah, I know, 2,400, right? And I was averaging about 120 per run. So, that was like 20 some runs of labor shortage. But, so on the plus side, I was able to build this whole mall with whatever, was that 4,800 total pieces or more, primarily by just running, buying time, and time is money, which is nice because those are 5-minute quests. Yeah. So, I had to run it a lot, but at least I was in and out, and I wasn't trying to deal with a half-an-hour quest. I did have to do a little bit of that Disruptors, I think, is a 10-minute quest, so that was a little bit more time-consuming, but I avoided everything longer. And the end result is I was indeed eventually
Ooh.
And to answer your question more specifically about exactly what it has, because I took the picture down, I'll tell you. It has an empty red augment slot. It has blinding flash, which is on crit. It does a no-save blind. It's +6. It's also got an empty colorless augment slot. It's got righteous, which means it beats good DR. It's got greater undead bane, which is part of why it's a good undead beater. It's got brilliance, so it does light damage, which a lot of undead takes in purple. Takes double damage from. And it's got radiant blast, which I can't recall the specifics of that. I think that's a light critical.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to decide what to put in the red augment slot. My first thought was to put silver so that I can get vampires. I'm not sure. Either that or another damage type. I haven't really thought it through. I figure I'll put a wisdom in the colorless augment slot, +6 wisdom, because she doesn't have +6, and when you're fighting undead, you have to make a lot of will saves, so that seems like a nice fit. And there you go. So I did a couple of other things. I mean, I did my normal mall runs guild runs, and my gamer girl and I spent a lot of time advancing my TRs, but all my spare time and all my solo time, incoming! Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. So, now, a side effect of this is that on DDO Gamer, there is now a video on how to run buying time in an efficient get in, get out, get your 100 ingredients, boom. And there's another instructional video that's the same thing for time is money. Again, it's get in, get out, get your 100 things. And there you go. That's what's on DDO Gamer this week.
Cool. I'll have to watch those because I usually can't do these challenges unless I pike.
A nice piggyback off of what Jeff's talking about. If you're just looking for a really easy undead beater, particularly for liches, just the tier 1 of that mall is actually really good, and it's pretty easy to get. You don't have to upgrade it all the way up to still have it be really effective.
Cool.
Well, I do. I have to upgrade it all the way because I can.
There's nothing wrong with that, upgrading it. But if you don't upgrade it, then the only difference is it's +5, you don't get the slots, and it doesn't have the blinding flash part. Yeah. But it still does a wallop of damage, and it's blunt, and it's good. So
nice. Still better than a lot of the stuff I have in my inventory.
I don't know is it more DPS than my Drow Maul. I don't know. But I'm guessing against most undead, yeah, probably it is. Because most undead are critical proof, and the cool thing about my Drow Maul is the extended critical range. So,
right.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Well, and a lot of undead are vulnerable to light damage, so it does a bunch of light damage. It has the greater undead bane, so.
Yep.
I still like my cheater hand wraps out of Maybar. Those things are awesome.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. That maul also, it's the same stats, just on different weapons for the other versions too. I know there's a light mace, it might even be a heavy mace, which is good again for lich beaters.
I know there's a warhammer because I accidentally made one the first time I was trying to make the Mornlode Maul.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, very disappointing. I went through all
this character.
So is it Mornlode X and then it only appears on blunt weapons? Is that correct?
No, it's short sword, long sword, great axe, light mace, warhammer, and maul. On the options.
Any co-pushes?
Nope, that's it.
Oh,
there is a co-push out of the challenges, but it's a different kind of weapon.
It's one of those elemental ones. I believe.
It's the water one, I think.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, wow.
I've yet to make a single thing out of that stuff. I've got a bunch of ingredients. I should assemble them and see if I can. I probably can't afford anything. I'll be like a little bit short on everything. And I'll have to run pictures.
The Mornlord stuff is really good for undead beaters. The Calomel stuff is good if you need something to fight dragons, particularly red dragons, because it's cold damage. The rings are pretty good. There's the Stalker ring, which has Ghostly, Seeker 6, and some exceptional sneak attack bonus, I think. The ring of the repair is one that has spell power for repair, and then has a reconstruct clicky and arch magi. You can get some slots on it.
There is I think that the only really must-have things out of there is if you're an elemental caster. So, because there's one item for each of the 4 major elements that is a real boost to your elemental casting abilities. So, and I know for lightning it's bracers, and I forget specifically what it is, but I know that once I read it, it was like, I've got to have that. So
they're not as good as they used to be because with the new weapons, you can get higher spell power than all of them. They don't go higher than 90. They have good lore, but they don't go above 90 for spell power. So, but there's a trinket that was really popular for a while when Lord of the Blades was getting run a lot because it had an ability that you could reduce fortification of Warforged. It also has Anthem on it, so if you're Bard, it's a neat little easy trinket to get, so you can get your songs back.
Cool. Well, yeah, I was playing my Epic Bard the other day. He's I think a spell singer, the one that you end up having to take a whole lot of extra songs for. I almost can never run out of songs. He's got a couple Anthem items, and I think I have 26, 27 songs or something. And so by the time I get anywhere near low on those, they start to come back, unless I'm just constantly singing, which I don't generally do. But
do you play with people that allow your mesmerization to actually work?
Sometimes. Well, as a spell singer, it was a spell singer or virtuoso? No, I think it's a virtuoso. As a virtuoso, you get the ability, you have the song that can actually persist through a few hits. There's a chance, and so, yeah, you can actually song them up, and then people can smack on them a little bit. I mean, they almost always come off eventually, but they don't come right away, so stray attacks don't necessarily break them. It's pretty nice. That helps. Yeah, I mean, I usually use that when things have gone to hell. Like, there's that... or that new little quest with the lizards, like, you get 30 lizards running around trying to attack the prisoners or whatever. Great for that. Even if you have a bunch of followers who are going around smacking on things, still, they can't smack all 30 lizards at once, so unless they're throwing area damage, works pretty good.
I don't know, I just find whenever I try to play with my bard that I'm yelling at my party the whole time. Hey, respect the notes!
Yeah, no, I long ago gave up on that. I do it as a personal get-out-of-jail-free move, or when I think the party desperately needs it. But other than that, yeah, I use the little song one. It's got a pretty high save, so I can make almost anything dance with it.
Yeah, we were talking about crowd control a couple weeks ago, and Fascinate is probably one of the best crowd control things out there. Well, yeah, I mean, if something hits it, then it's no longer Fascinated, but barring that...
But in terms of... Yeah, but it avoids spell penetration, it's an unbelievable DC to save.
Yeah.
It's just really powerful.
Yeah,
if you're with a group of people who aren't going to immediately hit all the bad guys with some lame-ass fireball and break them all out.
Yeah.
So that they can do 6 points to everybody.
And just, Fascinate through, a whole quest. Just have people kind of run up behind and kill things.
Oh, yeah? That's pretty nice.
Right.
Yeah, I actually found my bard. We usually joke about him because he was made to be a haggle character, and he kind of sucks. But actually, in epic levels now, he isn't so bad due to the Fascinate and some of his other songs, and he's pretty good at buffing. And so I don't know. He's actually not a terrible character anymore, which is kind of sad. But I'll still pretend that he really sucks.
It used to be the only way to complete Epic Dragon was with a bard fascinating the bases.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
People would wait hours for a bard.
I don't think they'd want to wait for Gabriel's. He only has 350 hit points or something, so he might be able to take one shot from the fire elementals or something if he's lucky.
But he can probably use fire shield scrolls.
That's true. Probably could do that. Yeah, if I paid attention to my equipment, he'd probably be okay. Like I said,
I bet if we talk about every single thing that he might be able to do to shield himself from the fire elementals, we're going to use up 5 minutes.
That's probably be all right. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so let us continue with the what you've been doing section and go to Patrick. Apparently not playing a lot of DDO this week, but get any time in?
At least not this weekend. Yeah, I got some time in. My favorite soul's kind of leveling, getting there. Did some raids. Kind of getting into more of a raid routine to kind of work on some follow truths. Couple caught in the webs.
Cool. I have not played a whole lot this week. We did, like I said, my guild went for Fall of Truth on Epic Elite, which we have not done before. We could pretty regularly knock out on Epic Hard, no problem. We did Epic Elite. We did pretty well. We were hanging in there until at some point the Reaver got loose. The person kiting the dragons got knocked out. The dragons wandered over, killed the guys tanking the Reaver. Reaver came over. Got everybody, lit up with the booms, and the moment the Reaver, they heard Reaver's loose, I kind of headed away from the rest of the party. Like, I'm gonna be over here. So I was one of the last ones alive, but it didn't really help. Eventually, he caught up with me and boomed me out. We were doing real good.
Follow it, man.
Yeah, the one thing we learned was it was actually kind of efficient to get the Reaver to tank things for us. And so we could just plant the dragons on him most of the time, especially if we were having a little trouble, and let him do the tank. And they would die and stuff would come loose, but we were pretty good at getting them back on him again. So that helped us out a little bit. But we're still learning.
He seems to be a lot more beefier on Epic Elite, and he does have a pretty good, substantial healing amp too, as reported by the healer.
Yes, you can heal him very effectively if you need to. He makes a pretty good tank. Of course, that doesn't work so good for the second part.
If you want to make him a better tank, try not to give him the Lies Dragon, because the Lies Dragon will debuff his electrical resistance, and then all the trash will start really zapping him.
Yeah.
Keep him up a lot longer.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why they started doing Lies first, because it debuffs.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it does. A lot of people like Lies first because it debuffs electrical. I prefer Silence because that's the one that does all the crowd control stuff.
Yeah, which could be pretty annoying. Yeah, it was pretty fun though. And then, we didn't quite make it, so then we did a hard afterwards, and of course it felt like, a walk in the park at that point. It's like, oh gee, this sure is easy. No challenge at all. So, I don't know, that's kind of one of the fun things about doing Epic Elite, is it gives you appreciation for how easy everything else is. But we'll probably get that one knocked out sometime pretty soon. Let's see. Anything else I did? No, I did a bunch of some other raiding as well this week. Some more Fall of Truth, and I don't know. I think we did something else, but I don't remember. So that's about
it's hard
it.
to remember. When you have a busy week, you can't remember.
Yeah, we didn't have our little TR Train Employee of the Month activity going on, so I was like, oh, now what do? I don't have somebody to tell me what quests to run.
It's hard when you don't have someone to tell you what to do. You have to think for yourself. Oh my god.
How about you, Jeff? What did you and the cat do?
Does it have a butt? There you go.
Traditional cat butt on DDOcast.
I think I've come to the conclusion that it's time for the Halfling Commandos to start actively recruiting again. So that was we had Guild Night and it was nice, we finished, but there was only 5 of us for Guild Night, and we picked a raid and we short manned it, and it was fun, and it's not the most challenging raid, but it is for 5 people that are at the appropriate level. It was just the Reaver's fate, but he's tougher than he used to be. Although strangely the elementals are easier than they used to be.
I'm kind of curious.
Tuesday night is our Guild Night. Yeah.
What time?
So 8:30.
There you have it, people. Join the Halflings on Tuesdays at 8:30.
Got to be a Halfling. Bring your Halfling. And naming your dwarf wannabe Halfling is very cute, but not good enough. Must be an actual bona fide Halfling.
No fat Halflings? Quote unquote.
I'm pretty sure my Halfling can fit in a Halfling suit.
Oh, we had a Warforged that was the Halfling transport system. Very cute. We liked it. Nice job, but not for the Halfling Commandos. We do have a sister guild, though, so if you want to run with us, and you only have the one, you don't want to just run Halflings, you're willing to invest in one, but you want to, play with Shadar Kai and other new stuff, or you like Warforged, whatever, we have a guild for that, too. So.
Cool. All right. Anne, how about you? Although usually not a lot different than me, but you never know.
Yeah, I did what you did. I ran in a couple raids. Felt unemployed for the week for my TR Wednesday group. I was sad. No compensation. Yeah. Not even comp. So that's about it. I noodled with my gear. kind of just organizing stuff because everything's gotten unwieldy, and I'm kind of prepping for the new character classes, so the new iconics, because I really want to play around with them.
Need some level 15 gear.
Yeah, exactly. And I know for a fact when the X Pack comes out, I will probably be doing nothing but respecking all my characters. So
can't wait. So much fun.
Yeah, that's going to come out with a plus 20 lesser reincarnation heart, I read.
A plus 20? Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I figure I'll hold on to that and save it for my next life on my completionist and skate my way through Paladin. You know, I'll run her all the way up as a barbarian or something fun, and then at the end, right before I TR again, oh no, wait, all those levels were Paladin levels. Paladin's done.
Done.
One thing with that is be careful how many character classes you pick, because people run into trouble a lot of times when they reincarnate, and they've got 3 level classes already, and they can't flip to a new level or new class.
Yeah. Right. I read about that. Yeah, you're right. And hopefully I'll remember that when I execute this plan. No promises.
Yeah, it is kind of challenging on a couple of the characters I've LR'd a bunch of times. Whenever I LR them, their class levels, the levels I took things at, are so scattered and weird that I often forget, and it can mess up my planning on when I'm going to take feats and things like that, because, you know, I've got 1 level here and 1 level way up there, and it can make it kind of challenging, so... Also something I'll look out for with that. But a plus 20 hardwood. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that, so that sounds great. I will say, though, Paladin is better. The Paladin enhancements are way better than the ones we had before, in my opinion. And I think will make Paladins a much better class than it was. You know, they've been kind of the whipping boy of the DPS classes for quite a while. And I think they're going to have a little bit of a resurgence. They have some neat abilities that are pretty fun. So
there definitely seemed to be an emphasis on classes and races that don't get a lot of love.
Yeah. Both Ranger and Paladin got enhancements, I think, that make them players again, which is pretty cool. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a while before I'm ready for my next life anyway. Although not that long. She's zooming. Yeah. But you're right. I looked at the Paladin enhancements. They do look cooler. That's a true statement. So no reason to make rush judgment now. I can always decide then.
Yep. All right, cool. Let's see. DDO community news for the week. Gen Con DDO party is definitely happening. I can't tell you exactly where it's happening, but I will say that it is on Friday night, sometime around 8 o'clock or so. I think the thread says 8 or 9. There's a thread on the forums about it. It was in the DDO Chronicle this week, so if you need to find it, that's a good way to find it. The location is yet to be determined. I guess traditionally they always did it at Jillian's, but I guess Jillian's is gone.
Yep.
And so last time they did it at a place called Scotty's or something like that, but they tried to have it at the Tilted Kilt, and they don't know where it's going to be, but I guess their idea is they're going to plant somewhere, they find a place with enough room, and they will Twitter about it. So I guess you want to be on the right Twitter feeds in order to find out exactly where it's going to be. I know some of those folks are coming to the DDOcast event, which is earlier on Friday around 4 o'clock, so I figured what I'll do is I'll ask them where the heck they're going, and we'll follow them, and we'll end up there one way or another. So that's my plan. Definitely, you know, it's always been cool, and they always end up having it one way or another, but I still find it a little strange that we don't know where people are going to meet up, so oh well.
Just a reminder, Gen Con's in 17 days.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
So it's coming up soon.
Absolutely. And, you know, our event, as always, at 4 o'clock, you can sign up for it on the Gen Con site. It's like $2 or something like that. I haven't checked to see if there were any new registrants lately, but looked like we had a crowd of about 25 people, so I'm guessing right around that. You know, some might not end up showing up, and some extras might join in, so we'll see how it goes, but it should be pretty fun. DDO Chronicle.
I'm so excited about that. I just
cool.
am. You know, I mean, here I am helping to host an event at Gen Con. I even wrote a whole article about it on DDO Gamer about how my 18-year-old self would be so jealous if he only knew.
Well, I mean, all you have to really do to have an event at Gen Con is sign up for one, right? I mean,
Oh, I know, but stop stealing the magic.
Oh, sorry. Right, yes. No, super exciting. Actually, I am very excited about
poor
it.
Sig.
Well, yeah, it's exciting for me because it's kind of our swan song event, and there's a lot of stuff to do. So, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah, so for me, it's like, oh, I got to plan a bunch of stuff. And so everybody who's, I guess, watch out for the shared file where it has all our information.
All right.
That'll be the plan. So I need to start getting my act together. And not only that, I have to release like 3 more, three more episodes.
I'll be working on the DDO radio tonight, I think, and we'll get some of those together. So there will be lots of DDO action in the coming weeks. We promise.
Yeah, there'll be a lot.
Yeah, even if there's like episode 299 is, hi, welcome to DDOcast, episode 299, the special filler DDOcast. Wow, I hope you've enjoyed DDOcast 299. We'll see you at Gen Con. Yeah. That could happen if we get desperate enough. But hopefully it won't. Or, hey, here's a bunch of stuff from the DDOcast archives, hastily put together. Enjoy. I guess that's what DDOcast radio is, actually. We'll see.
No. That episode would be called the best of DDOcast.
Yes.
And see, it's not just hastily thrown together. The appropriate term is curated.
Curated.
There you go, curated.
Like kobolds. All right. Speaking of the Chronicle, let's see what they've got here. Mops examines the Blade Forged lore in his blog. My DDO, Forged by the Blade. And so it's mostly a lore article about the Blade Forged. Chronicle comment for the week. Why do kobolds mine for crystals in Crystal Cove? And whoever put this in here has Patrick up first. What do you think?
Because kobolds remember waterworks.
My answer is they get paid. That's a pretty bad answer, but I'm pretty much sure that they get paid for returning the kobold crystals, and that's better. Because you have actually, if you hoard treasure the traditional way, somebody comes along and kills you before too long. So it's slightly safer, although safer for a kobold is a very, very relative term. Anne?
Oh, because kobolds get paid in rat tails and puppy dog tails. I don't know. Kobolds eat well tonight.
Yep, they do apparently
fresh
eat
rat
well.
tonight.
Fresh rat tonight.
Jeff?
I think that the kobold foreman has left his keys in there somewhere, and he's not sure where, but they're in there somewhere. So get your ass in there, little kobolds, and find my keys.
It's all a scam.
That's it.
Let's see. Also, we have a new fan site. Yay! It's DDO Gaming, not to be confused with DDO Gamer, or maybe to be occasionally confused with DDO Gamer, but not too much. DDO Gaming is it's a blog. I went and checked it out. So it's mostly a guy's blog, but he's also got some links to tools and other little doodads and things like that. So yeah, it's a nice little fan site. Definitely recommend checking it out if you would like more and more cool DDO talk stuff. So good deal.
Yep.
That's about it for the Chronicle for the week. Oh dear, that appears to be about it for the show as well. I don't know if we got anything we want to go around the horn on. Oh, we should talk about the survey and all that kind of good stuff. How's that going so far, Shavgar?
I think there's something like mid-30s number of people have submitted stuff. So go to our website, fill out a survey. It enters you automatically into winning some turbine points.
Very cool.
You got 5 250 turbine point codes to give away to the first 100 people who fill out a survey.
Excellent. 30-some for DDOcast standards, not too bad, but we'd definitely like to see more. So if you have any opinions whatsoever at all about DDOcast and what you'd like to see in the future, definitely go to DDOcast.com/ is it /Shamgar? I'm not sure exactly, but
Patrick.
There's a link.
Patrick.
Yeah, /Patrick. There we go.
Patrick.
Yeah, DDOcast.com/Patrick and fill out the survey. You'll find it from the link of blog post as well. So do that, and that would be great. And
It shouldn't take very
some
long.
points.
Thanks to the people who have done it. There's some good feedback in there. So
Cool. Yeah, it is not a long, tedious survey. It is very quick to fill out. Excellent. I don't know. Anything else shaking over there?
Well, Tolero just came out with an update, a video update. Those are always fun to watch. It's interesting
cool.
to see the changes in her hair this week it's purple.
Definitely.
There wasn't a lot of news in the update, though, but she talks about the Shadar Kai tattoo contest, not as in hurry up and get your entries in because it's a little late for that, but as in go check out the entries that are there and vote for your favorites if you have a favorite. And other than that, there was a whole lot of Shadowfell is coming, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I don't recall any specific news from the update, though.
Yeah, the devs are pretty quiet. That's probably because they're working on the update. That's usually how it goes. Just a little bit before publish time, everybody's crunching over there and getting stuff done. So that's cool.
She did tease some stuff about showing Stormhorn Mountains next time.
Interesting. Yeah, there was a thread somewhere that the expansion, I don't remember if it was the sort of State of the Union address or from the new producer, but that the expansion after the update, or the update after the expansion, I should say, is going to be a famous adventure, module from the pen and paper D&D game set in the area.
They said which one too.
Yeah,
which one was
something
it?
about
remember?
Stormhold Mountains, I think, but I don't know.
No, it's Haunted Halls of Evening Star or something like that.
Oh, that's the one. Haunted Halls of Evening Star. That's a pretty good one.
Which I know nothing about at all, but so it goes. I
It
really
will
don't
make
know.
the haunted halls more haunting.
Yeah. I don't know any lore from Forgotten Realms that is any newer than, say, first edition Dungeons & Dragons. I have a large collection of old first edition modules and just a few second edition modules and a couple things after that. Pretty much after first edition, I always wrote my own adventures and always did it that way. Very rarely use modules, just a little bit of this and that. But I used to buy lots of them when I was younger, so I have quite a few ancient ones.
Yeah, the Haunted Halls of Evening Star was published in June 1992 and was written by Ed Greenwood and is originally an AD&D second edition module.
Oh, okay. So it does have some pretty deep roots there time-wise, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Still after my module buying era, which would be like the late 80s. So, neat. So if you want a preview of what's possibly coming up in DDO, then you could go check out that module and find out.
Yeah, they sell that module online on DriveThruRPG as a PDF.
Okay. Cool.
So you
nice.
you could download it and play it that way if you want. There's like a number of modules, old modules that you can now get on PDF and buy.
Yeah.
I think it's no more than like $5. It's less than.
Yeah, they're
$5,
relatively
so.
cheap usually. So
They're really cheap.
yeah, which is one of the way that
the link.
yeah, one of the ways that D&D has still sold stuff, even though they haven't really put anything new out for about a year and a half or so, is they put out a lot of their old stuff available still. So yeah.
Yeah, like the reissue of the first edition covers.
Yep, all that kind of stuff. They've been doing a lot of nostalgia pieces lately, which, it's actually perfectly fine by me. A lot of people used to complain that, whenever they needed money, they just put out new stuff. Hey, well, now they're putting out old stuff again. So. They got to make.
People are still complaining, right?
Of course, but people moan. But if you're an RPG maker, you got to put something out. If you don't keep making product, you don't make any money. If you don't make any money, you don't have a company anymore. So there you go. Oh, also, this is in the D&D news that I thought was cool. There's a company that Hasbro owns, which is kind of a Lego ripoff, called Creo, I believe it's called. And what Hasbro has been doing with that is making licensed Lego-like products for all their properties. And they are indeed going to have a Dungeons & Dragons line. So you'll be able to buy Dungeons & Dragons, not quite Legos, sometime fairly soon. Which
that's not the Mega Bloks line, is it?
No, that's their own. It's relatively new. It's called Creo, like Kreo, E-O. And yeah, they make a Transformers line and also a G.I. Joe line. So basically, it's Hasbro's way to blockify toys.
They're actually being called construction sets.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, they can't call them Legos, obviously. But they are compatible with our favorite building block toys. And
how are they
I have to say, I
compatible?
bought some.
That's kind of a trick because the interlocking system of Lego is patented.
Yeah, it is.
The
They do. Although there are different ways to do it. So like the Mega Bloks, and there's a whole bunch of toy lines that you can connect to Legos, but use a slightly different system. The pegs are kind of the same, but the bottom side of the bricks is decidedly different. So, don't know how they manage that, but poor Lego. I mean, Lego. There's still some things about Lego that are very unique, like the coloring on the bricks and some other things, and just the general quality tends to set them apart. I will say for the Creo ones, I have some of the Transformer ones. I bought them on an impulse because I do happen to like Transformers a lot. And the little minifigs are really actually quite cute and cool. And they have the advantage that they swivel on the base and they have ball joints for the arms. So they're a lot more posable than a traditional Lego minifig, which tends to be a little bit stiff and kind of one-dimensional, you might say. So, I don't know. They have that going for them. They're pretty cool. If you look online, they debuted them at the Comic-Con. And you can see like the Drizzt minifig, and there's some orcs and wizards and various things.
Of course, Drizzt. Hello, Drizzt.
Yeah, he's like the star of the line, right? Of course, got to have him.
Wow. I'm looking at a picture of it right now, and it looks awfully Lego.
Yeah, no, I mean they're designed to look like Legos, right? It's a ripoff thing. So, but like I said, Lego has had many competing brands for quite a long time now, and they only seem to be more and more popular every year, as far as I can tell. Legos just keep on rocking it.
Huh.
But these are pretty cool. I'll probably buy some, because it's a D&D Lego thing, and how could I not? Anybody got anything else before we roll on out?
I'm wondering how I would look with purple highlights.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you look great. I think
Yeah.
you look great. Go for purple. Go for green. There you go. If you have hazel eyes, green highlights are good.
Then I could do purple beard
There you
instead
go.
of gray beard. Yeah.
Arr.
That sounds fearsome, doesn't it? Oh, purple beard. Arr.
Make sure you get the new hat, new cosmetic hat.
I know.
Bicorn. It's the Bicorn Napoleon hat.
Well, now Anne did decide at some point next summer I'm going for a mohawk, and I may have to color it. So
I gave him permission. I green-lighted him on the mohawk.
that should be interesting. This will just be my little midlife crisis kind of thing. I don't know. Cool. Okay. Well, I think. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's
right.
all I have.
That's going to be all for today's show. So, big thanks to Anne, Jeff, and Shamgar for joining me today. You guys are always awesome. And big thanks to our contributors, Ludwig, and also to Rebus the Rogue, who've sent us some stuff recently. Big thanks to everyone who listens to the show, and to Wizards and Turbine for making games that we like to play. If you want to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can call us at 707-DDOcast or email us at ddocast@gmail.com. Until next time, may all your attack rolls be crits, all your chess level appropriate, have fun, and don't forget, Legos are the true original building block toy.